Myself, as well as the vast majority of Hypixel SkyBlock players, have been hungry for new content, bored with the daily grind of mining and farming, foraging and fishing. We've been begging for more combat updates since the release of the End Island in 2019, and many of us are bored and patiently waiting for something new. There's no doubt that the Hypixel SkyBlock team is feeling the pressure, and I bet they are really desperate to add some new help to the team, and may overlook some minor details if it means they can push content updates out just a little bit faster. Real quick before we get into this video, I've been told that videos that get more likes on YouTube get pushed more aggressively by the algorithm to new viewers. If you'd want to do me a favor and click the like button, it would help me out a ton. It's free! Ever since the Community Center update in September 2020, Hypixel SkyBlock has been adding new members to their development team due to an influx of earnings from the sale of gems and booster cookies. The game mode has been lacking in content updates for months and needed a way to keep their community happy with a more active update schedule. These new team members help develop anti-cheat, patch dupes, add new achievements, new items, collections, armor, weapons, enemies, islands sometimes. I would imagine that Hypixel is very selective of who they add to the team, considering the demand from the player base for new updates and just how sensitive of a game mode it is, as you would know if you've been watching these type of videos. Picture this: Hypixel receives a job application from a friendly guy with a funny accent. He claims to be a Russian immigrant to the USA and is more than excited to work on the game he claims to have been playing in his free time for 6 months. The guy is a genius and demonstrates a ton of skill in his job application, has an impressive portfolio of college projects and independently developed applications and games. He even briefly held a position at Bethesda and worked on Fallout 4. The Hypixel recruitment board is extremely impressed and puts him through the training process. A few months later, the new dev is added to the SkyBlock team. As the weeks go on, almost every minor bug in the game is patched by the recommendation of the new developer. A brand new blunderbuss weapon category is added and used to fight enemies on a new pirate-themed combat island. You can sling from ship to ship with an upgraded grappling hook, shoot cannons, blow up barrels, and sink ships. You can even be a captain of your own ship as well and fight other players in their crews. Players could dive under the surface of the water and loot sunken ships, fight sharks with a harpoon gun, and even collect ancient artifacts that can summon the Great Cthulhu. This update comes out in record time, a short 3 weeks, which we haven't seen a turnaround time that crazy since the End Island. SkyBlock starts receiving updates faster than ever before, and the player base is extremely happy to have something to do that isn't the same old grind with a new coat of paint layered on top of it. In the following months, the dev is able to dig into the root code of the game and fix the source code to be more object-oriented friendly, and all future updates would no longer suffer from new items not conforming to the pre-existing rules of items in SkyBlock. For example, on update day, you're not going to be able to place player heads anymore that you're not supposed to, which would then get patched the next day by devs. By default, it would just work the way it's supposed to. It's been about 6 months since the new developer started working on the game, and the player base is ecstatic. They've gotten 3 new islands, a dozen new collections, and are still searching for hidden features that were hinted of weeks before in forum posts. The player base reaches a new record, over 100,000 concurrent players in just SkyBlock alone. Hypixel doubles their server capacity just to handle all the new people. With each passing patch, the developers become more and more excited to see just what this guy can do, and can't wait to see a pay raise from all the new players on the network. Once the developer is given full trust of the Hypixel team, he is given access to the entire game's source code for the purpose of overhauling the core gameplay mechanics and streamlining updates. In the following months, other Minecraft servers start to add SkyBlock game modes with a striking resemblance to Hypixel. This is barely acknowledged by the team though. Of course, any successful project has its copycats. Some unnamed server announces the addition of a skeleton kill quest and features custom items crafted from killing a certain amount of skeletons to then summon a powerful boss that has a special attack pattern and lots of health. and when defeated has a small chance to drop rare crafting components. Another server releases a YouTube trailer for their new Prisons game mode featuring drills and upgrades to mining speed from killing gremlins and smelting materials at a massive refinery. The server features a quest board where you can accomplish certain tasks for experience that allow you to spend metal shavings to get faster block break speed, a more efficient way to refine materials, and an extra chance to find rare enemies in the caves. Hypixel's too busy dealing with their now 120,000 concurrent SkyBlock players to worry about the copies though, although some players are starting to notice. Some of the younger audience that can't afford a Minecraft account start playing on cracked servers with Hypixel game modes, some bearing a striking resemblance to Hypixel, instead of asking their parents to buy an account after watching so many SkyBlock videos on YouTube. But again, they can't afford it, so they head over to these knockoff servers. One server even has the nerve to call itself Hypixel SkyBlock Free, and has the same islands, mechanics, bosses, and basically everything there is to Skyblock, all while offering free booster cookies for voting for the server. Soon more players take notice of the Copycat servers because they are offering the same experience somewhere else, all while getting the same paid features for free. The Hypixel Copycat servers have been increasing in quality so much that YouTubers start making videos about them and showing just how impressive it is that in a mere month and a half that a server managed to copy the Slayer system perfectly, working in the exact same way that Hypixel does it. Another server features minions who generate materials for you when offline. Another one adding a variety of skills that you acquire by doing certain actions during your adventures. Little does the Hypixel team know, but this developer wasn't fixing up everything exclusively for the benefit of the game itself, but has been pushing the boundary for what aspects of the game's code they're allowed to see. How could a server with only 3 staff members have added the complete Crystal Hollows experience on their server within a few weeks of Hypixel implementing it? That's not possible. As it turns out, that small server didn't remake the update, they bought it. The new Hypixel SkyBlock developer had been downloading the game's source code and distributing it to other networks for a massive amount of money, and has been fixing it up as a way to make it easier to share and distribute on other servers. Hypixel quickly notices this and removes the developer's access to the GitHub repository, wipes his Hypixel admin rank, and bans him from the network. Immediately, the legal team starts to write up a cease and desist letter and prepares to sue him for violating his non-disclosure agreement and stealing company secrets. Unfortunately for Hypixel, this guy is smart, really smart, and all the personal details he supplied were fake. This guy had stolen the identity of someone else by hacking into their bank and stealing their social security number, name and address, phone number, email, social media logins, and job history. He covered his tracks by using a VPN to hide his IP address and used a voice changer in all of the official voice chats. Hypixel has no idea who this guy actually is. In a final act of defiance, after taking over $1 million from being paid by Hypixel themselves and by selling code to other server networks, he leaks the Hypixel SkyBlock source code to the public before disappearing from the internet and retiring on some beach out in the middle of nowhere. This would be devastating to Hypixel. Hundreds of Copycat servers would use their source code to make their own SkyBlock games, some even ripping off the original in every way, and no amount of cease and desist letters and DMCA claims will stop it, considering most of them aren't even hosted in the United States. SkyBlock would lose the originality it once had and continue to lose players to other networks that offer the same features without an anti-cheat or without charging any money. Would Hypixel SkyBlock die in this scenario? Surprisingly, probably not. Yeah, the source code leak would be terrible in the short term, but how many networks would be able to handle the traffic that Hypixel gets? How many networks could defend themselves from the DDoS attacks that Hypixel has protections for? Does anyone remember how almost every server in Minecraft history was attacked by DDoSers? And pretty much every network got wrecked as soon as Hypixel went down. If you were around during that time, hundreds of thousands of players suddenly had nowhere to go and then shut down all these other networks by, it's not even a DDoS at that point, just too many players. Some of the big networks did get DDoSed, but I mean, who would be able to deal with it other than Hypixel? It costs a lot of money to have that kind of protection. I predict that many of the Copycat servers would only stay up if they add pay-to-win mechanics and eventually become less worthwhile to play than the original network, and Hypixel would continue to update over time, leaving the copycats behind. I made a whole video talking, or at least a third of it, talking about why pay-to-win would be bad for SkyBlock, and the original reason why these servers would succeed in the first place is because they are cheap or free. And as soon as they start adding pay to win, I have a feeling a lot of people would come back to Hypixel. It might be possible that Hypixel actually does get Mojang involved, and together they attempt to shut down the Copycat servers, but that would be a difficult task considering that all it takes is changing the server IP to go back online. It actually has happened before where Mojang got directly involved and got servers shut down, mostly for EULA reasons, but I have a feeling that, you know, Hypixel probably has a decent pull over at Mojang. I know they've been ignored by them for quite a while, but they have gotten their fair share of acknowledgements, and I think Mojang would be smart enough to know that the Java multiplayer scene basically runs off Hypixel. So I think there's a good chance that, you know, Mojang would just get directly involved and just kill them off. There's no doubt that after this, Hypixel would bolster their security and be even more selective of who they add to the team. Overall, I do think that SkyBlock would survive, but the Copycat servers would 100% steal away the short attention span players who would rather see progress right away instead of grinding for it, so possibly less IRL traders and macroers, which actually could be a benefit for the game because, let's be honest, do we really want that in our game? Alright, I think I've had enough fantasizing the death of the game that puts bread on the table for me. Just from thinking up this video idea, I'm probably on some list now. I don't think any game developer studio would really want me knowing that these are the thoughts going through my head. So make sure to leave a like on this video so I can keep making YouTube videos instead. Anyways, if you haven't checked out my Badline cloak yet, you should definitely grab yourself one. Other than the Streamlabs donos, this is the best way to support me because 80% commission. Who does that? It's literally 10% more than a super chat or member, 45% more than a Twitch sub or bits dono. It's basically the best dono method out there. I think I'm gonna chill out for a little while, maybe make some more positive content. Well, anyway, I'm glad that you enjoyed this video and made it all the way to the end. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.